What's happening here? The Dark Forest should be wilder territory, but it's swarming with light bearers everywhere.
Plus, people here seem like they've been wallowing in the mud, all grubby and upset.
Since you have a ship, it's best to depart from here. If there's space on your ship, kindly consider taking these refugees too.
Listen up, KuVinh, my friend. Regardless of your identities and origins, this place doesn't seem fit for camping. It's pretty damp and cold by the river. You should take everyone to the forest and let my people take good care of them.
Those bunny ears. Are you one of the Wilders?
You bet I am. Thanks to my ears, I was able to hear them say your name.
You lot issued an exclusion edict and are forcing refugees to leave the Dark Forest. I haven't had a chance to sort things out with you. Look at the weak and elderly. Is this the Wilders' way of welcoming guests? What happened to your once peaceful and benevolent demeanor?
Hold on. What exclusion edict?
Enough talk. I am taking them into the forest, no matter what it takes. Ouch! My arm.
You're injured? That shouldn't be. My blade hasn't even touched you.
Oh my! You're hurt! How about listening first before diving into action?
A sword wielder, two talking hamsters, and you. Who are you all, really? What are you going to do about that exclusion edict? Even if that bunny-eared boy gets in, the Wilders will still drive you guys out. Because you are all outsiders in the eyes of the Wilders, just like us.
Mr. KuVinh, we were invited to come down from Hollystone to help with some small problems in the forest. If I still can't gain your trust, here's my heroic order emblem. And as for these few... This is my friend and his hamster familiars. As you can see, he is a great mage.
You don't have to tell me. I learned that well a moment ago. Now that you've introduced yourselves, here's the story. These refugees from the Remnant Peaks had their village attacked by golems. They've come to the Dark Forest seeking help. They also sought help from Hollystone, but something odd occurred there and their pleas went unanswered. Forced to flee, they've ended up here.
Well, talk about coincidence. We happen to be the ones involved in the Hollystone incidents.
What? You?
No, don't get me wrong. What I meant to say is that's too bad. If you go to Hollystone now, I'm sure those soldiers would be willing to take you in.
These refugees have faced hardships on their journey, with many being elderly or disabled. Now, with ships to and from the Dark Forest widely suspended, they can't leave immediately. You just arrived here from Hollystone. I understand that you may not be familiar with the forest's expulsion of refugees. Sorry for my impulsive behavior earlier. A very simple and cruel order. Non-Wilders are strictly forbidden from entering the forest. Those who enter and stay are promptly expelled without question.
Unbelievable. The Dark Forest has always been a welcoming place for friends from afar, particularly around the docks where there are camps for traders and travelers.
You are half right. Those camps have indeed been a lifesaver, sparing the refugees from rough nights after a long journey. But the exclusion edict is also true.
I don't understand. Why are my people blaming the humans for the corruption? I guess I've been away from home for too long.
Something seems off. How about we have Lorson lead us to the forest and see for ourselves? Just standing around won't help. Let's go investigate further into the corruption and the exclusion edict.
Let me lead the way. I need to know what's the deal with this exclusion edict.
Mr. Corin, are there any ships at the dock?
No. There are only a few half-dilapidated ships. I met a wilder who's willing to help, so maybe with his support I can go into the forest and talk things over with the person in charge. Once the edict is lifted, you'll be free to enter the forest and recuperate. Is little Jonathan's fever down?
He's fine now. All thanks to the herbs you found. Since there's still hope of getting into the forest, I will stay here a little longer and do my best to take care of everyone.
Miss, I noticed there are still quite a few elderly people and kids in the tents. Are only a few of you taking care of this big camp?
When the golems attacked our village, the men insisted on having the elderly and children evacuate first, so only the mothers came along.
We need someone to stay here and ensure their safety. Considering their shortage of supplies and manpower, leaving them here could put them in danger. Whether it's lifting the exclusion edict or removing the corruption, there's no time to lose. I will stay here. Mr. Corin, Lorson, and you, please head to the forest first. Sorry. Allow me to go back on my word for the sake of protecting these poor folks.
The heroic order truly lives up to the ideals of justice and bravery. Valen, I'm counting on you to protect Clementine and the rest. Don't worry. Anyone who dares to lay a finger on the Magister shall face my spear first. It's a good thing that Valen stayed behind. These Gruglins could have posed threats to the refugees. During my patrol earlier, I noticed that the Gruglins around here are more violent than usual.
Gruglins going crazy for no apparent reason, and strange crops absorbing leyline magic. This is just like what happened in Hollowstone.
Nonsense. Why would there be a connection between them? Perhaps the Wilders only imposed the exclusion edict to protect us from the Gruglins in this area. I suppose that's too good of an explanation.
The Gruglins in the forest weren't this aggressive before I left. Could it be that grapes from Ryham have grown around here too? Ugh, I can't wrap my head around this. Do you have any clues? Oh, right. I remember there's one nearby. Apart from here, corruption is also spreading in the depths of the forest. It's called corruption because it affects plants, making them look like they've decayed. Clearing out the decayed parts won't prevent them from regenerating, much like the grapes near Ryham. Words may not suffice. Come with me and I'll show you.
This chaotic and oppressive magic feels quite similar to what I sensed in Southville, but it's much stronger and more ominous. I'm not feeling well. Chippy!
Hammy! Are you okay? Magister! What's going on? What just happened to Hammy? Hammy, stay strong! Our Magister is here! You're gonna be okay!
Hey, let me take care of little Miss Hamster. You find a way to tackle that corruption. How did something this harmful end up growing in the dark forest?
Can you clear out these corrupted roots using the method that worked for the vineyard? I'm counting on you. Besides you, I can't imagine anyone else or any other way to completely eradicate them. Please, do your best.
Magister, thank you for purifying the corruption.
Brian? He's Brian, a wind whisperer just like me. It's been a while. What brings you here?
Lawson, my lord, your return was accompanied by incessant clamor. My endeavor in obliviousness proved notably intricate.
Stop. Don't call me that.
Oh, his status remains a mystery to all of you. Lawson is Master Arden's student, and among the younger generation of the Wind Whisperers, he stands out as the most exceptional. Within the Dark Forest, the Dusk Patrollers, Wind Whisperers, and Thorn Guards symbolize heritage, perception, and protection, respectively. Each of the three factions appoints a sage, and unitedly they rule. Master Arden is the representative of the Wind faction, with Lawson acclaimed as one of his stellar apprentices, specifically renowned for his mastery in wind whispering.
Hey, you make it sound like I'm bad at other things.
Of course not. Apart from running out of the forest seeking aid, neglecting daily tasks of the Whisper Web, you are flawless.
Don't call me that. Let's just get down to business already. Hey, Brian, meet my friend. He's the great Magister I brought back from Hollowstone.
I've heard. Are you aware that the corrupted roots require regular uprooting, or else they'll regenerate? Normally, it takes several weeks for the corrupted roots to regrow after removal, yet presently, they manage to reach the current state in a matter of days.
As you've seen, he does have the power to eliminate them.
It's best if you see it that way. As a Wind Whisperer, my duty lies in the delivery of messages. Hence, could I implore you to visit the station of the Dusk Patrollers? Discussing with Captain Leica, who is in charge of eradicating these corrupting roots, could significantly improve the effectiveness of information sharing.
Leica? It's nothing.
Mr. Corrin, you seem like you require some help too. The wind brings the cries of distant refugees.
Took you some time to remember the plight of the refugees, huh? You lot are a far cry from the wilders I've ever met.
Please, quell your anger. The exclusion edict was issued by Master Earmere, and the Thorn Guards are merely carrying out the order. I, as a Wind Whisperer, possess no influence to contest their determinations. Captain Leica will articulate the particulars. Come with me, if you will.
I heard from the patrollers that there were bandits nearby, so I hurried over. Lawson, it's ridiculous. Years go by, not a peep from you. Not even a letter. Brian sent you messages through the wind, and you just ignored us.
Well, he did respond, with a single word. Acknowledged.
Well, I was in a hurry to bring us back a savior.
Oh, sorry. Are these your friends? Hi, I'm Leica, captain of the Dusk Patrollers. Lawson has been a bit of a troublemaker since he was young. I'm sorry if he caused any trouble for you along the way.
Come on, sister, it's been 3 years. Can't we catch up for a moment without digging into the past? Uh-huh. We both have the same ears.
Despite the similar ears, Lawson and I are different. I don't have the innate talent for wind whispering.
Let's chit-chat later. Are you the captain of the Dusk Patrollers? Are you aware that the bandits were deliberately causing trouble for the Wilders, purposefully stirring up conflicts between the two communities? With the exclusion edict in place, skilled bandits can vanish easily, but defenseless refugees have nowhere to run. Where are your arrows pointing then?
Sir, I'm aware of the bandits.
Then why?
I've been meaning to apologize for this. The Thorn faction has always leaned towards conservatism, not wanting outsiders to disturb the peace of the forest. A while back, the Thorn Guards proposed blocking the entrance to the forest. There were rumors later on saying humans brought in the corrupted seeds. With corruption spreading in the forest and all those bandit problems, it gave them more reasons to act. Even in the once liberal Dusk faction and the neutral Wind faction, more and more people are starting to agree with the Thorn Guards.
What? What about Granny Donnie? And Old Man Arden? Did they not stand up against the Thorn Guards?
The three sages. Lawson, the Dark Forest is a very different place now than it was when you left. However, sir, despite the internal strife amongst the Wilders, it shouldn't be a reason for us to fail our refugee friends. I should apologize to you and those who are suffering.
Factional disputes, I see. At least there were no armed clashes. You do have your reasons. However, those refugees have been driven to the docks with nowhere to go. Can anything be done?
Leica is the mage that Lawson invited to cleanse the corrupted roots. Should we guide them to Lunadorf? Please inform Master Dani, leader of the Dusk faction, that the situation might bring about a turning point to this whole ordeal.
Really? Can you really clear out the corrupted roots? That's remarkable. The patrollers had to keep a fire going for hours just trying to cleanse one spot. Even then, those roots soon grow back again.
But your alteration of the magic flow can substantially decelerate the pace of regeneration.
In that case, the patrollers would finally have time to help the refugees. Good, sir. Let me take you to Lunadorf right now.
Whoa! That tree in the middle of the forest is super amazing!
I've been away from home for so long, but the loosened tree is still so beautiful. Let me proudly present to you the grand tree with a canopy resembling the night sky and sparkling with a galaxy of stars. The loosened tree.
It is said that this is a divine tree planted by the goddess of the earth and the rivers, Misate herself. Those who first arrived in the Dark Forest laid the foundation for the villagers beneath its majestic canopy, paving the way for the prosperity we witness today. The pioneers of Lunadorf even planted a small tree, inspired by the great loosened tree.
But there's nothing special about that one. Well, let's pause the nostalgia here. We'll be arriving at Lunadorf soon.